going to be exploring desire in The Husband Stitch by Carmen Machado. Now, before we dive in, we should have a little bit of context. This piece is based on a children's horror story by Alvin Schwartz called The Green Ribbon. In short, it's about a girl who refuses to tell a boy about why she wears a ribbon around her neck. The two marry, and eventually the husband is allowed to untie the ribbon, to which her head falls off. Machado's story works within this frame, so you may be wondering, what's the purpose of telling this story again? Well, Machado uses deliberate narrative choices that make the story her own. Instead of stock folklore characters that are specifically used for moral tales, Machado goes further. She pushes sexual identity to the front and center. Let's look at the first paragraph.
In the beginning, I know I want him before he does. This isn't how things are done, but this is how I'm going to do them. I am at a neighbor's party with my parents, and I am 17. Though my father didn't notice, I drank half a glass of white wine in the kitchen a few minutes ago with the neighbor's teenage daughter. Everything is soft, like a fresh oil painting. The boy is not facing me. I see the muscles of his neck and upper back, how he fairly strains out of his button-down shirts. I run slick. It isn't that I don't have choices. I am beautiful. I have a pretty mouth. I have a breast that heaves out of my dresses in a way that seems innocent and perverse all at the same time. I am a good girl, from a good family. But he is a little craggy, in that way that men sometimes are, and I want. I once heard a story about a girl who requested something so vile from her paramour that he told her family, and they had her hauled off to a sanitarium. I don't know what deviant pleasure she asked for, though I desperately wish I did. What magical thing could you want so badly that they take you away from the known world for wanting it?
So what do we know about this character? We know about her youth, her naivety, her self-assurance, her willingness to participate in the adult world. And all of these things supplement her main desire. She wants that boy. We see this urgency, this fervent desire for first love. She wants to be in the adult world now. She wants sexual autonomy, ownership of her body, her mind. And this is super powerful. Let's backtrack to the first line. In the beginning, I know I want him before he does. And if we break it down section by section, we can see how effective the sentence really is. In the beginning, once upon a time, in a land far, far away. These are all words that we associate with fairy tales. I know I want him. Note the first person. Note the directness. Note the object of desire. Before he does. An awareness of tradition that women are not allowed to want, only to be courted. So why is all of this important? Why do we look at desire in this story? Machado imbues stock folkloric characters with complex desires that drive plot, characterize, assign values, and heightens risk. All of these elements compound on each other, rising, until the titular moment in which the characters are irrevocably changed. Without character desires, we have no conflict. And when we have no conflict, we have no tension. Tension naturally emerges when we have characters with conflicting desires. What I see across the board, but most notably for beginning writers, is a reluctance to write conflict. But we need tension in order for a story to function. And how we create that tension with these characters, with these specific circumstances, is exactly what compels our audience to continue reading. Sure, you can have flowery prose, or elaborate descriptions of setting, but when it comes down to it, what do you want your readers to come away with? What are your desires as a writer, a communicator, an artist?